Hello everyone. Today's program is based on structures. Let's have a look at the program title. It says Design and develop a C program to implement structures to perform the following tasks. You have to read the values of the structure, write or display the values on screen, compute average marks, and display the students who have scored above the average marks and the students who have scored below the average marks. Let's have a look at the description. It says the program should ask the user to enter input details for each student, such as their name, roll number, marks. Then it should calculate the average for the entire class and then identify the students who have scored above or below average. Method used here will be structures. So this is the algorithm. These are the steps. In short, you need to create a structure first. Ask the user for how many students you want me to calculate the average. So we are finding the value n over here from the user. Then for those n students, you will take all the values, all the details. Again, display the values of n students on screen. Now calculate the sum of all the students. Then using the value of sum, you will calculate the average. And finally, you will identify students who are lying above or below average. So this is the task that you're supposed to perform in short. Now let's move on to the programming part. You will first include stdio.h file. This is standard input output header file. And because you're going to deal with names or if you want to perform any string functions, you can even use hash include string.h if you're using any built-in functions over here. First step is to create a structure. So let's use the keyword struct followed by name of the structure. In our case, it is student, struct student, curly braces. Now, which are the fields in this structure? So in this structure, I have roll number, then I have name, followed by marks. So this will be float marks. End of structure, you end it with a semicolon. Now move on to void main. Open the curly bracket of void main. Now, all the local variables or temporary variables, we'll declare it later. Right now, I need to declare a structure variable. So structure variable is declared using the keyword struct followed by student. That's the name of the structure and the variable name s. This will create a structure just for one student, but we are looking for n number of students. So I'll create a structure for maximum value, let's say 10. Next step, printf, ask the user how many student details you want me to enter. So enter the number of students. This will be stored in a variable scanner percentage %d. This I'll be storing it in a variable, let's say n. So I need to declare a variable n here, int n. Next step, using a for loop, I will take all the details for the structure student. So for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. This for loop is used to read the details of students. So since I'm using I'll declare I also in here. Okay. Now printf asks the user to enter the values for the structure. So first field in the structure is roll number. So enter roll number. This will be stored using scanf. Since roll number is integer, it will be percentage %d, comma, address of. Now, where are we storing this? We are storing this in a structure called s. So I'm percent s of I, because these are the details of first student. So when I is 0, it is going to point on the first student. So SI of 0. Now, for which field have you taken the number? So this is taken for the field roll number. Copy paste these two statements again, and with some modifications, you can take the value for the second field, which is name. So enter student's name. This will be stored. You can store it using scanf or using getters function also. Let's use this because it is an array. You need not put ampersand sign. It's a character array. Whenever it is a character array, you can skip the ampersand sign. This will be stored in S of zero's name. So the first structure's name. Again, copy paste it for the third field. This time we'll ask the user to enter marks. Marks will be stored as percentage %F because it is of type float. This will be stored in the field SI of marks. Okay, so all the details have been taken. Now you need to print all these details on screen. So what is this? What are we doing here? I'll just comment and write so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Here we are creating a structure. Here we are reading the details of student. Next, I need a for loop. Again, I'll copy paste the entire thing. This time in the for loop, I am going to display the details. Display the details of student. So I'll have to make some changes here. So it will be, let's remove this. Instead of enter roll number, since we are displaying the values, let's write roll number. Roll number is percentage %D and it comes from SI roll number. Then we are displaying student's name. So here I'll say name is equal to percentage %S and it is coming from SI name. Remove this line. Finally, you will print marks and marks is float, so percentage %F. And this is coming from SI marks. Discard this line. Okay, so reading the details, displaying the details is done. Now next step is to calculate. You need to calculate the sum. Before that, I'll just write one printf statement which says student details are as follows. Let's use backslash n everywhere, otherwise it will be printed on the same line. Okay. Fine. After this, you need to compute sum. So to compute sum, again, you require a for loop because it is going through all the marks of students. So I'll write here to compute sum of marks. We are calculating the total of marks. Open and close the bracket. Okay. So how are you going to add the marks for this? You will again have to go through the structure. There is a variable called sum. Sum is equal to sum plus we are adding the marks. So S of I is marks. There is a variable sum. Let's call this float sum is equal to 0. And I'll also have to calculate the average. So average is also equal to 0 0.0. Or let's see this sum is enough. Okay. After you have calculated the sum, now you need to calculate the average. So after coming out, there is a variable called ABG. This is equal to sum average, or the mean is nothing but sum divided by the number of students, sum divided by n. Put the comment here. This is calculating the average. Once the average is calculated, now the next task is to display students who have scored above average. So for that, you have a for loop again. Open and close the for loop. And inside the for loop, you have an if condition, which will check is the marks greater than average or is it below average. So if s of I dot marks is greater than or equal to ABG, that means if the student has scored above average, then printf the student's name who has scored above average, printf backslash n percentage s has scored above average. And where is it coming from? It will be read from SFI dot name. If the name is not in above average, that means the student has scored below average. Else, printf student has scored below average. So this completes the program. We have performed all the tasks. I'll repeat again. You were first asked to create a structure. Then from the user, take the value of number of students. Then you have to read the details of students. The same details will be printed on screen. This is the total marks. After the total, the average was calculated. And now here we are displaying names of students above and below average. Okay, now let's save this with .c extension. I'll save it on the desktop and call this as struct.c or struct underscore student dot c. Compile the program, run the program. Okay, step one, asking for the number of students. Let's say it is 3. First roll number for the first student. Student's name is Pam. The marks 10. Second roll number. Student's name is Sam. Marks is 15. Third roll number 3. Student's name is Ben. Marks 5. So if you observe, the total will be 10 plus 15 plus 5, which is 30. And 30 divided by 3, the average will be 10. So first, the mark scored by Pam is 10. So 10 is greater than or equal to 10. Therefore, Pam has scored above average. 15 is also above 10, so above average. And 5 is below 10, so Ben has scored below average. I'll just show you one example to make you understand better. Okay, have a look at this. Suppose these are the names of students. There are 4 students. These are their roll numbers, their names, and their marks. So the first step is to calculate the sum, the total. 10 plus 15 plus 20 plus 25, which comes up to 70. Next step is to calculate the average. So this will be sum divided by four number of students. So 70 divided by 4 is 17.5. So who are the students who have scored above average? 10 is below 17.5. So Sam is below average. 15 is also less than 17.5. So Pam is also below average. 20 and 25. These two are above average. So Jan and Ben, they have scored above average. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.